want you to come and see this. If you are in another room, come take a look, because if you've never fed hummingbirds before, we're going to tell you why you should. And if you have fed hummingbirds before, we're going to tell you why this is the best hummingbird feeder that you can have. Because Roxanne DePalma from Ultimate Innovations, who's been running her business for more than 30 years, I got to tell you, she went to the drawing board and said, it's got to be better. You should see how many hummingbirds she has at her house. It's crazy. They love her place. And so, Roxanne, so good to see you, honey.
So good
I'll
to
give
see
you a hug, but I've been a little bit under the weather,
well,
so I'm not going to do that.
We'll wait on that.
You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, let's do colors real quick. We have purple right here. It's a light purple. We have a cobalt blue, royal blue. Over here, we've got the yellow, and we have orange. Okay, and those are the only colors left, and we started with 6 of them. We have 4 now. Look at those beautiful hummingbirds. Oh. Wow. Why is this the best? It should cost you almost $75. We're at this super low big deal price, only for a few more days at $36.98. Let's talk.
So, Mary Beth, 14 years ago, my sweet little mama, Rita, who's up in heaven, would sit in my backyard in San Clemente, California, and just be mesmerized by the hummingbirds with this feeder. And if you notice, there's a lot of mold in here, there's a lot of fading, but it's plastic and there's no way to clean them. So that's when Bob went to the drawing board for Mama here. And this is what we've come up with. Over 350,000 hummingbird feeders from Ultimate Innovations has been sold. Right. Why? They work.
They work. And yet this is the best that you've ever put out. And it was brand new last Thursday.
We checked every single box with this one. Absolutely. Okay, so guys, this is the yellow one. It looks like a pineapple. And you go, oh, and it glistens when that sun hits it. So, Mary Beth, let's start from the top. You're going to get a powder-coated hook. And these are all hand-blown glass hummingbird feeders.
They're works of art.
They are.
Yeah.
And so on the top here, there's a divot. Why? Because we have a built-in ant moat. So you're going to put water there. And then we're going to come down here and look at the beautiful decor on this feeder. And it's yellows and kind of whites and creams in there. Yeah. And then, Mary Beth, I had all my customers saying, Roxanne, I need a bee guard. And so guess what? This is my own trademark bee guard. It's a hibiscus flower. It's not one of those little ugly yellow ones like this.
Right.
And then if you notice, there's like 4 little spots there.
See that? Come in close, because look at that.
Is that fabulous?
The bees can't get in,
but
the hummingbirds can.
Correct. And then we have a 360-degree resting spot. And you say, well, why do we have a resting spot for those hummingbirds that fly through the air?
It's tiring.
They flap their wings 80 times a second. Guys, that's over 4,000 times a minute.
Unbelievable.
And then, yes, this is glass. This is not plastic. But look how thick that glass is. And it's large enough that you can get a bottle brush in there. And then, last but not least, Mary Beth, you never, ever, ever want to buy a hummingbird feeder with a metal bottom. What happens is you get a chemical imbalance with the nectar in there. Yeah. So all of my feeders are made with a polycarbonate, and it'll hold up to 350 pounds. I mean, this thing is just rock solid. But it burns our feet, the metal one. So you never ever want to buy a feeder that has a metal bottom.
So even though this may look like metal, it's not metal at the bottom.
And then
super easy to clean.
We even give you the little cleaning brush too, guys. Okay, everything has been checked. Mary Beth.
And you give them the recipe.
And we have the recipe.
Because here's the other thing. What's the biggest misnomer? People think they have to make the nectar and turn it red with red food coloring. That is actually no.
Yeah, they just need the little red flower. They're gonna be drawn to the glistening of this glass and to that red flower. Yeah. And Mary Beth, that red nectar that you buy in the stores is really, really bad for them. So I want to go back to, why are you feeding the hummingbirds? You guys, these hummingbirds are starting to become an endangered species.
That's sad.
And they are,
and that's true.
And that's a true statement. And they're starting to migrate north now, and they fly up to 500 miles a day. And once they get to their spot, they're going to start nesting. So the flowers really aren't blooming yet. So they need the nourishment, and they will take and go up to 1,000 flowers a day, and even go to the nectar. So don't forget that. It's time to get your feeders out, unless you live in Minnesota or Wisconsin.
And the fact is, even if you live in those parts, it won't be long before you've got to buy it now, so you have it come mid-April.
Right. And Mary Beth, I have 6 feeders in my backyard, 2 feeders in my front. Larry's the same way. I mean, everybody, Alberti has these in his home as well. I mean, everybody, Eric Wallin. Eric Wallin loves this feeder. He has this one as well. I mean, you guys, these feeders, there's a store in Laguna Beach, California that makes glass hummingbird feeders. The cheapest one you can find is $100.
Yeah.
And all of our feeders go back, they all work, all the colors work. And you can even just like put them right into a potted plant like I've done over here, Mary Beth.
Oh, I want to just quickly show you, because we got a question, how do you fill it? First of all, everything comes apart. It's just, you set this on here. Basically what you're going to do is just unscrew the bottom, and then you can wash it out, fill it. How often do you have to fill yours?
Oh, it depends how many hummingbirds. I mean, I'm filling mine in the summertime every 3 to 4 days.
Okay. And once you fill it, you mentioned about basically you have to put a little water on the top so that the ants that come will drown, basically.
They drown. The ants come marching and they just drown. They just drown. And don't forget, guys, once that hummingbird comes to your yard, they're like college kids. They come back year after year after year after year, okay?
That's right.
Now listen, you don't have to have a garden. You can have potted plants and put a shepherd hook. My son Matt and his fiance have a condo. And they literally hung it on the side of their eave, literally, and I'll post this on my social media, guys. An hour later, he had 6 hummingbird feeders, or hummingbirds. But look how absolutely gorgeous this is. And look how it glistens. And you guys, truly, these make unbelievable gifts. Put them away for Mother's Day and Father's Day. Get more than 1 feeder in your yard, because you have the bullies.
I was just going to say, explain that.
Okay, so there's always a bully. And there's
bully hummingbirds or other birds?
Yeah, bully hummingbirds.
Got it.
And what they'll do is they'll just kind of hang out. And as soon as another hummingbird comes to that one feeder, they bomb them. And it's hysterical to watch them. That's why I have 6 feeders in my backyard, 2 feeders in my front yard, and
so there's enough for everybody.
There's enough. Yeah, you know, we're Italian, Mary Beth. I have to feed everybody.
Oh yeah, exactly. You are.
Mary Beth, the purple one?
Yes.
First time I've ever brought a purple hummingbird feeder to QVC, and they are flying out the door.
And it's most limited. I'm going to tell you what, we brought in a bunch of these last Thursday. We don't have 3,000 are already out the door since last Thursday. So you have the purple, the royal blue, the orange, or the yellow. But here's the thing. I bought 2 last Thursday because I've never been able to have a hummingbird feeder at my house, even though I grew up with them with my dad. And I was like, now when I'm retired, I have time to do this.
There you go.
You know, and I want to put it near a window where I can see it.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So they'll even come pretty close to you if you want to put it out on your deck. Thank you, honey.
I love you.
So appreciate it. You are the best. I think you're going to be in my show coming up next week sometime.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I think so, too. All right. In the meantime, we've got more yet to come. Let's take a look.